Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another FIFA battle on the channel, where today we have got Sadio Mane against Leroy Sane. So if you do want to see more FIFA battles, make sure you do drop a thumbs up on the video and hit that subscribe button as well if you do find these very useful and helpful. We're going into Sadio Mane's in-games. He's got 4-star skill moves with a 4-star weak foot. 5'9" is his height. His best positions in my opinion are a left wing, a striker, or like a left attacking midfielder if you're playing a 4-2-3-1 narrow. His best chem styles I reckon are a sniper and a hunter. So sniper, which will improve his shooting and dribbling, and hunter for his pace and shooting. Work rates being high medium. Acceleration at 95 is his top attribute, and 93 sprint speed, 92 agility. He's also got traits of speed dribbler and flair, and he's also got pretty good card. You know, he's obviously electric, amazing dribbling as well, and pretty decent shooting. Moving into Leroy Sane, he has got 4-star skill moves as well, but only a 3-star weak foot. 6 foot tall. His best positions in my opinion are a left wing or a left forward. Again, I think his best chemistry style would be a sniper to give him shooting and dribbling, or a dead eye for shooting and passing. He's also got high medium work rates, 96 sprint speed for Leroy Sane, 93 acceleration and 88 dribbling are his top 3 stats. And his traits: speed dribbler, flair, and the power free kick, which is quite rare. But he's got a pretty good card as well, a little bit quicker than Mane with 95 pace, not quite as good dribbling or shooting, but again they've both got pretty much similar cards, both kind of similar in games except for the weak foot really. So let's go into the gameplay and see how they played. So guys, as we go into the gameplay, you can see the first team we'll come against, which is a pretty nice team. He's got that Scream Hulk, which is actually quite a good card. I've got it myself, Lewandowski and Frankie de Jong as well. I actually really did enjoy using both of these players. Sadio Mane is someone that actually is in my team. If you've been someone that's followed my streams, you'll know that someone like Leroy Sane, that Sadio Mane is actually in my team, and I get on really well with him. So this was more about me testing out Leroy Sane and seeing how much I liked him, and I actually thought he was very good. He was very impressive. But look at this run here from Mane. So we played it nicely into Firmino, and just look at the way that Sadio Mane runs into that space, that big gap, and he attacks that space. Something that Sadio Mane, I think it was probably a little bit better at than Leroy Sane. He did seem to make more penetrating runs in behind than Sane, which is quite interesting. I mean, it wasn't anything to do with the pace. It might be something to do with like the attack positioning, but Sadio Mane to me seemed to make more of these sorts of, like this sort of run from Sane I didn't get too often, and when he did feel a little bit heavy, a little bit clunky on the ball. He definitely did not feel as clean to use as Sadio Mane, but Mane made a lot of those kind of penetrating runs in behind. You can see again, Sane doesn't quite get there, just doesn't click as easily. But the thing about Sane that was really surprising with me, he played so well as a playmaker. He was a very good playmaker. He seemed to be the guy that a lot of my attacks came through. He seemed to be, you know, that sort of area where he's here and he plays a pass through to somebody. You can see this time around what Sane does. You can see the 2 red arrows are his simple passes on, and he's got Nelson Semedo overlapping, attacking that space with the green arrow. And this was the sort of pass that I found Leroy Sane was actually very good at playing. I didn't have a chem style on Leroy Sane at the time, so I didn't boost his passing or anything. But these are the sorts of runs that he was very good at. These are the sorts of passes that he was very good at picking out. He was very good at picking out those type of passes, those kind of, when I had other players like whether it was Semedo overlapping or Mane, you know, he was very good. And again, what a pass that is, you know, through to Firmino. He was very good at linking up the play, Sane, but not so much at running in behind himself. I didn't find that he made those runs in behind himself, which is a little bit disappointing, because playing kind of as that left wing, I tried him a little bit on the right wing. I tried to move him around, see if I could get anything going, and you know, other than me triggering the runs myself, he didn't really make the runs in behind. Whereas Sadio Mane, some of the runs that he made, I didn't personally trigger the runs. He just made those runs for me. And sometimes you need to trigger the runs yourself, and other times you need the computer to trigger the runs for you. We can see Mane linking up the play there with Firmino. But sometimes you need to trigger the runs yourself, and sometimes you need the player to make the run for you. And I never found that Sane made those runs. That's one thing that Mane was a little bit better than. Also, I didn't feel like Sane was quite as clinical in front of goal as Mane. Mane just seems to have that better finishing instinct than Leroy Sane. Sane still did score some goals, but his kind of main attribute in the team for me, he was very good at linking up the play, very good at finding teammates. Didn't really give the ball away too much. This again, look at this touch here from Mane, just to push that away from him and find Fabinho, who smashes that one in the bottom corner. Really good play again from Mane. But yeah, he linked up very well. Leroy Sane with the team. You can see again, plays it out there to Fabinho, and we spotlighted Mane at the top of the screen again, making that run, making that dart in behind that we've seen now a couple of times from Mane that we haven't seen from Sane, making that dart in behind into the empty space. Again, I'm not triggering that run from Mane, he's just making that run himself. Unfortunately, I couldn't pick him out with Fabinho, but that's the sort of run that you want your wingers, especially in this game, you want your wingers to make that run into space. And again, you can see Mane making that run into space. I didn't trigger that run, he just made that run himself, and that's what we want our wingers to be doing. And that's something where I've talked about it a lot, but that is where Leroy Sane kind of did lack a little bit. This was an opportunity, you can see here. Again with Semedo high up on the right. This time I triggered the run with Sane because he wouldn't make it himself. You can see his body position leaning into that space. He makes that run in behind. I play that into Firmino. I'm a little bit composed in the box, and then I could have passed it back, but I managed to get the finish. But he was very good, Leroy Sane, and Sadio Mane were great. I think I would probably maybe ever so slightly think that you can see his shot there from Sane just wasn't quite as good. But let's go into the end of the FIFA battle and see who won. So guys, going into the end of the FIFA battle, we can see the stats on Mane after the 10 games that he did play, and he scored 8 goals for us and got 4 assists. I'd rate him a 9 out of 10 overall. For me, I've used Mane a little bit more obviously than Sane because he does play in my team. I've played about 60-70 games with him, so I've kind of got used to how he plays, got used to his style and sort of the runs that he makes. But he's a very good finisher as well. He feels very clean on the ball, you know, he feels very easy, very agile to use. But Leroy Sane's games, his 10 games, he only got 3 goals and 4 assists, but I'm still going to give him an 8 out of 10 because he played so well. He felt very heavy on the ball, but he was a very good playmaker. He made a lot of passes, he linked the play out well, he didn't give the ball away even though he's only got 79 passing. He feels very strong, like he feels massive in the game, like even though his strength is probably only about 68-70, something like that. He feels very strong, he never really gets pushed off the ball. But unfortunately for Leroy Sane, I'm going to have to give the win to Sadio Mane. I just think the goals that he scored, you know, the assist, even though Sane played well, Mane played well as well, just as well. But he's obviously got the stats to back it up. So I'm going to give the win to Mane. I also think that 4-star weak foot is gonna help you. I think that 3-star weak foot occasionally is going to annoy you on Leroy Sane. You might get a chance on his right foot and it's just going to miss, and you're going to wish you had a 4-star weak foot player. So I think Mane is the guy we're going to give this win to. But that is it for today's FIFA battle, guys. So hopefully you did enjoy it. If you do want to vote in the comment section on these 2 choices that we have selected, please do, and let me know which one you want to see in the next episode of FIFA battle. But that's all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.